I really can't decide if 4 episodes was not enough or was too little. Because on one hand, it felt like there was a lot of information they left out. And on another note, it felt like there was not enough of a storyline for 4 episodes. They have the ingredients to make this show a really good show, but they really failed on the storytelling and the dialogue in the show. Is the production value low budget? Cinematography-wise, I feel like people are being too harsh. They filmed in a beautiful location. A lot of the scenes were in this gigantic castle. And if you're talking about the monsters, there's only 2 monsters in the whole show. So I don't feel like that's enough to really criticize the monsters. Was the casting bad? I'm also gonna say no, because I think that the actors are all good actors. I just don't think the dialogue allowed them to have chemistry with each other. It felt like they were creating this show with a checklist. Witcher cameo from one of our favorite characters, check. Diverse cast, check. Insert sex scene in the first 10 minutes, check. Love story between elf and mage, check. Love story between the 2 main characters, check. If you think about the storyline in the simplest term, it is a very interesting concept. 7 people meet to avenge their clan and to save Elfkind from an empress that thinks that she is doing good, but is actually really naive, while in the process telling the story of how these worlds collided and how The Witcher came to be. But where they failed was how they told the story. There was no dimension. It felt just very linear, like it was robotic almost. They skipped a lot of the in-between moments where we would have a lot of feelings about how the characters interacted with each other. Therefore, when there were moments when people were saying, I love you, it did not feel believable. Meanwhile, insert must-have sex scene, I guess, while leaving out any kind of relationship building altogether. The saving grace for the show is that the battle scenes were really good. Some of the side characters did redeem the main characters from being so blah. For instance, the dwarf was pretty funny, and this guy who played One Knight, which was the redeeming quality for episode number 4. Because what really makes the original Witcher really fun to watch is kind of the dry humor that's kind of sprinkled out through these really intense moments. Those are my favorite shows. I just don't love shows where it's just intense all the time. I think when you have a little bit of humor and stuff in there, it makes the characters so much more relatable. And that's what this show was missing.